What up? It's your boy UAG back with another video. And hey, you're here for all the facts, so let's get into it. See, right now, the big talk around town is that the Legacy Capcom cabinets, they're here. They've been leaked. We've talked about it. I told you months ago that this was going to be coming out because it just made sense. If you look at how Arcade1up operates, they come out with these legacy cabinets, but they didn't come out with the Capcom. And why? Because of that bad boy. They cannibalized those sales, so they waited to the last possible minute to make sure they're still being able to get sales on that. And that's a business move that makes sense. Anyway, we're here now. Let's get into it. There's three iterations of this cabinet, and it makes the perfect sense because there's three Street Fighters on these cabinets. You have Street Fighter World Championship Edition, you have Hyper Fighting, and you have Super Turbo. So that's what I believe those three cabinets are going to be representing. So right now, one of the big ones is the Yoga Flame cabinet, which I believe is going to be the Hyper Fighting cabinet. So let's pull that up. I had my friend, my pal, my buddy make a cabinet and tell me what it, told him what I think it would look like. So here's what I think if they were going to make this cabinet, which they are, how it would look. So this is what I think the cabinet would look like, the Yoga Flame Edition Hyper Fighting cabinet. I think we're going to be getting this. Look at the artwork here. I believe we're going to be getting the Hyper Fighting marquee, which is an orangey red color. And that's why I think that the cabinet would go with this color scheme. Remember, the name of the cabinet is a Yoga Flame Edition, so I believe we're going to be getting Gotham on the side of the cabinet or in some kind of artwork, maybe a mashup of some of the other fighters, but a heavy emphasis on the Yoga Flame version. So I think this is what we would be seeing. Now you got to remember that these were upgrade kits. These were going to be just on the big blues. All they gave you was an upgraded marquee. So Arcade1up takes liberty in some of the artwork. So we could see some funky artwork, but I think it's going to be something around these parts. We're going to have that molded door, beautiful riser to go with it. I would be hard pressed to believe that they don't do something just like this. Now, with the game lineup, we're going to be getting 14 games. That's been the formula for this year's Legacy cabinet. So why would they steer away from that? You know that all these games are going to be online. If you see that on the MK cabinet, they're going to give the same treatment, if not better. They do love their Capcom. That's their moneymaker. I see all those games being online with a heavy emphasis on the three Street Fighter games that are currently on the Big Blue. They're going to be on this one as well, and probably the other three iterations of this Legacy cabinet, because they want to make sure those lobbies are heavily invested. They want those lobbies to be busy. So what better way than to make other iterations of these cabinets so those lobbies would overlap and be filled, kind of similar how they did X-Men versus Street Fighter and the Marvel versus Capcom. Those lobbies overlap, so that's the same thing that they're trying to do here. And you got to believe that you're going to get a good mixture of games, very similar to the Big Blue. You have a good mixture of games like puzzle games, fighting games, shooters. You're going to see something like that as well with a beat 'em up as well. I just don't see them just focusing on the fighting games. You're going to see a good mixture. You're probably going to get this game. I think you're going to get Final Fight, because Final Fight is one of the games that have been missing for a little bit. We had the Final Fight cabinet. That game didn't get reissued. Mostly everything has already been reissued except that game. So it just makes sense that we see this game on here because the community has been begging for this game. And what better way to come out with a new Street Fighter and throwing that bad boy on there? That will be a fan favorite. And imagine playing that online with your buddies, a nice beat 'em up game, kind of like the Knights of the Round Table. So that I could see that happening. Now, this is another thing that for probably 100% sure, it's going to be the shape of the MK 30th anniversary. With the Legacy cabinets last year's, they all look like the Mortal Kombat with the wings. This year it's going to be this one. And the other Legacy cabinets, they had different form factors, kind of like what they had with the Tempest and they had with the other things. These will just look, this is the fighter layout. How the MK and the Street Fighter look the same, this and the MK is going to look the same. This is the layout for the fighters for this year's Legacy cabinet. And remember what I said, there were going to be 3 iterations of this cabinet. There's going to be an iteration of the one that they're talking about is the Hadouken on the Shoryuken, one of those moves from Ryu. That's going to be the Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. So it's probably going to have the Super Street Fighter marquee, probably Ryu on the side, probably a different color, like maybe a bluish. You'll see that on the cabinet. So I'll go switch our camera, get back on there for you guys. You're going to see the Super Street Fighter logo right here. That's basically the same thing that it was just an upgrade kit, just gave you a marquee. So they're going to take some liberties of doing the artwork on there, something new, probably Ryu and maybe the crew. Who knows? That might be on the side of the cabinet and give it that other look. But I want to know what you guys think. Are you excited about this cabinet? You know I am. I'm super stoked. You know that there's going to be another version that I didn't talk about, the OTG version, the poverty version, where it's $300 coming from Walmart, has no riser, has no light marquee, has the games, will probably have Wi-Fi, give you still those bells and whistles minus the riser and the marquee, but you can upgrade to that later if you want. If you're just trying to get in the door, $300, that's not nothing to sneeze at. But for $200 more, you get everything and the fire artwork. What are you guys are getting? I want to hear in the comment section down below. Are you going with the Yoga Flame or the Hadouken? Or are you going with the cheap boy? It's up to you. Either way, just game, get in those lobbies and have fun. Anyway, while you're here, give us a thumbs up, comment down below, let me know what you're thinking. And as always, keep gaming. I appreciate you.